Good morning. I'm here at the Bear Lake Trailhead inside Rocky Mountain National Park, and it's just a little past 5, and this place looks like Grand Central Station. Super busy. And today I'm gonna go for Otis Peak via the East Ridge, looking at maybe 3.5 to 4 miles out with just over a 3,000 foot elevation gain. Official start time 5:20, and in 12 minutes I've made it up here to Nymph Lake, and this is looking across Nymph Lake from the other side, and I can see part of Otis Peak. I'm gonna need to go up right here, and then once I gain the top, just take it across. And the sun has just come up. It is gonna be a beautiful day. And within 30 minutes, I'm up here to the Lake Hayaha split. And it looks like I'm getting snow already. All right. And we finally got some sunshine. I'm taking it up and around the Hallett Peak East Ridge, and then I'm gonna be dropping it down to Lake Hayaha. That's looking down onto Nymph Lake and Bear Lake. It might be a little windy up on the Continental Divide, but I'm just gonna have to deal with it. And I went with the heavy duty bug spray today. I tried Signal Mountain via the Bulwark Ridge on the 4th of July, and I got ran out of there by mosquitoes. It was atrocious. And that video is exclusive to Patreon, the R-rated raw cut, because I wasn't a very happy camper. So that's looking over to Otis Peak, but right through here is going to be the problem area. It's real steep through there, and I'm gonna have to avoid that snow or go up it, one of the two. I'm crossing over Chaos Creek, and it looks like the water is back to its normal color. Beautiful. It has taken me 55 minutes to get up here to the Lake Hayaha trail split, and from here I'm just going to start looking for the best way to get up the slope and up on the East Ridge. And this looks like the best spot to split off and start bushwhacking, right here at this curve at 10,220 feet. Yeah, right through there. The good thing is that I have this previously routed on my GPS, so I do have a path to follow. I'm working it up through this very first rocky section. I'm popping up to the next level here, and this is looking pretty good for the foreseeable future. I think I can hike up in between the two snowfields right there. and that's looking over to Galactic Peak and Flattop Mountain. I'm getting my first good view of Lake Hayaha, and it's still a little green. I'm on the real steep part. This thing just goes straight up. And if you like scrambling around and using your hands, this is a good one. I'm taking a quick 3-minute break. I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy this view for a few minutes. And I can see down to the Bear Lake Trailhead, and that parking lot looks totally full. Well, this was right above where I was sitting. Got a couple cairns. So, looks like I'm heading up in the right spot. I got to really hold on to my camera through here. Definitely don't want to drop it and to lose it between these big rocks. I've made it through the trees. All right. The rest of this is really steep, but it's doable. I've done it before. And here's what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna take it straight up right through here and aim for the right side of that rock up there. It's a little windy up here, but this is nothing like the other day when I was up on Mount Chiquita. Yeah, this is like super mild compared to that. I'm stopping for another quick little 3-minute break. And we're getting up there, folks. I'm getting a lot closer to that rock, and I am loving this hike so far. This is awesome up here. All right, I am officially up here on the east slope, and that's looking over to Mount Lady Washington, Storm Peak, Longs Peak, and Thatch Top. This thing isn't over yet though. I've still got well over 1,000 vertical feet up to the summit. I've just come around the corner, and that's looking up at the true summit. I just busted out the micro spikes and the hiking poles, because hiking up the snow right here might just be easier than trying to go around on the loose rocks. I'm trying to cut it across right here and make it over to these rocks. All right, all right. Yes, I've just about made it around this final high point on the way up to the summit, and I'm stopping again for a quick 2-minute break to put the spikes away and put the poles back in the backpack. I'm really glad that I brought the spikes. They paid off. I'm looking at another half mile or so up to the summit. Wow, that drops straight down. Right back up in here somewhere is where there was that giant rock slide last year that made the color of Lake Hayaha, that crazy bluish green color. But that mountain over there is not stable. I've been hearing giant rock falls all day. Looking at about 4/10 of a mile out to the summit with a 500-foot elevation gain. This is what I got left. Home stretch. I definitely don't want to lose it and go sliding down that snowfield. That thing is pretty big and it goes way down there. I am going to stay to the left of it. I'm taking my last little 3-minute break right here at the base of the snow. I'm at just over 12,100 and I'm looking at 2/10 of a mile out to the summit. This is the very last part, and this is also the hardest part. Big rocks, and you got to go straight up. Let's go. Let's get it. Ooh, and that big one just moved on me. I'm coming up in between the snow. I just checked the GPS, and this is exactly how I did it last time, except there was no snow. Well, that was a false alarm on the summit. It looks like that is going to be it right there. And that's looking back at what I have come up. Wow. This has been quite an adventure. All right, guys, and we're up here, summit of Otis Peak. And it's just now 10 o'clock, which means that this took 4 hours and 40 minutes to get up here. And shout out to Moody Peaks. They're out there on Crack Top. That's what they were going for today. Beautiful day too. Not much wind up here at all. I can see why I didn't want to go back down the east slope the other time that I did this. That's pretty rowdy, and it doesn't look like much fun going back that way. I think I have decided to go back via Flattop Mountain. I'm looking at this incline right here that I'm going to have to do. However, it's really not that bad. Well, guys, it's about 10:35. I've been sitting up here for a little over a half hour, but the wind is starting to pick up and the afternoon clouds are starting to build. So it is time to go. It's time to head on back. All right, let's do it. Let's take it on back. I remember in the last video, I couldn't even get any footage going this way coming down because it was just so windy. I couldn't even hold the camera steady. I'm glad I didn't decide to go back down the east slope, because I'm about done with these rocks. And luckily I'm almost done with the rocks, but I'm saying I'm done with these things, and if I would have gone back down the east slope, I would have had loose rocks for like a mile and a half. No thank you. I'm finally off those rocks. The rest of this should be relatively easy hiking. I just got to go uphill. Beautiful up here on the Continental Divide. Yeah, like I was saying, last time I did this, it was so windy, I couldn't even hold my camera steady, so I couldn't use any of the footage. That's looking back at Otis Peak. Looking pretty savage. All right, let's start going back up this thing. Let's knock this out and get it over with. All right, this is going to be the Tyndall Glacier. Caution, steep snowfields, extremely dangerous. Summit of Flattop Mountain. And this has taken an hour and 15 minutes since leaving from the top of Otis Peak. But that is all uphill. I mean, you got to go down the top of Otis, but once you bottom out, it is all uphill to get back up to this point. And that's looking at the other side of Hallett Peak. It looks like these afternoon thunderclouds are building up fast, but I'm really not too worried about it. I'm going downhill now, and I'm thinking I should be back to my car at around 2 o'clock. Coming down this trail right now is a cakewalk. This is the best terrain of the day. Got some brave pikas on this trail. Hey buddy. Hey buddy. And we have made it out to the Emerald Lake Overlook. And that's going to be Emerald Lake. I'm glad I didn't sit up on that summit for much longer, because this day is kind of getting away from me a little bit. Made it down to 11,000 feet, so still got quite a big drop to get back down to the trailhead. Yeah, this is a pretty long trail to come down. Beautiful shot of Long's Peak right there. Made it out to the Dream Lake Overlook. And it has started to rain. And 2 minutes later, it's sunny and the rain has stopped. Made it back down to Bear Lake. And then right up there's Otis Peak. I went right up the end and then across the top to the summit. I am back, Bear Lake Trailhead. It's just now about 1:55, which means it took 3 hours and 20 minutes to come down from the summit of Otis Peak. And it took me about 4 hours and 40 minutes to get up there this morning. So yeah, that's a pretty serious hike. I think we're looking at roughly 10 miles round trip with a net elevation gain of about 3,500. I am so glad to be sitting down right now. Hope you enjoyed the hike, and until the next one, y'all, peace.